when you hear people much older than me speak of home, home was home. Home wasn't an investment. It wasn't an investment. It was home. It's like roots gripped into the ground and a tornado could not move them. When these neighborhoods, there were marriages and people used to have funerals in these houses, as well as weddings. There were births and there were deaths in these neighborhoods.
You helped meet each other's needs. It didn't matter whether it was financially or whether it was food or whether it was emotional. You know, the emotional, just needed someone to talk to. You just had that family bond together.
One thing that I find very important is that I engage with the older folks here in the community. The older folks, and a lot of them are African American. And they've been so kind and nice. And, you know, I'm an older lady. So, you know, they are the ones that have cared for me. They want to know how I am, and I want to know how they are. And so I just go knock on their door just like they come and knock on my door.
See, when people learn to love and be concerned about each other, you know, that makes it. I mean, it creates I would say, a spiritual environment, and that's the type of neighborhood you want to live in. Even though things have changed, so much going on, but if you have love for each other, it binds you together.
We talk all the time about how lucky we are to have been able to live here for as long as we can, or as long as we have, and we'll stay here as long as we can. But I mean, we look around every time a new business opens or a new tall city goes up, we're like, oh, time's running out.
People coming from other places to communities like East Nashville. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on the reason you're coming. If the reason behind it is, I'm going to engage in this community, make this community better, but respect its roots, it's perfect. But if you're coming in to get everybody that's there out and greed and development, that's very bad. It's very bad for everybody.
So, and I do feel almost part of the problem at times. I go into an area as a young white girl, and because I want to live in this area, I want to live in a neighborhood, this is what I can afford, that I sort of make it acceptable for other white people to, you know, they're like, oh, she's there, it must be safe.
Well, I've heard some concern that they're moving us out. I says, no, they're not moving us out. We're selling out. The folk are selling out to move out. And we're not trying to sell out to move out. The folk who has moved out a few years from now, they're going to be coming back. I'm going to have something here when they come back.
If you could change one thing about your neighborhood, what would it be?
I would ask them just let us be.
Well, you could live comfortable, afford it. You know, it's not struggling, not robbing Peter to pay Paul. So
There's still a lot of character here, but with the rapid growth, my concern is that it's not going to be there anymore. It's going to look totally different. It's going to take away the memories of what made this neighborhood what it is. The community centers made it what it is. We did everything in the community, so once it's all said and done, I'm afraid that what kept it together is not going to be anymore, maybe 10 or 20 years.
This is my last question.
Okay.
What do you hope your neighborhood, your community will look like in 5 years from now?
I hope that it looks very similar to what it looks like now. I think that it's a good community, and if anything, I just maybe a little bit more open to each other. So.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel pushed out at all, but I just hope, united. What I really like would maybe like to see a little bit, which I think we do a good job, like I said, of getting to know each other and being social, but maybe just a feeling of people, we're all looking out for each other.
5 years, hopefully this community center, the Boys and Girls Club, will be more of an impact in the community, and that, you know, there'll be more unity in the community. There's some, but it could be better. There's always room for improvement. Sometimes I wish, as easy as kids are to just play with each other, that, you know, adults will have that same concept, not necessarily playing around,
Right.
but just, you know, hey, they're doing something I like, why not join in, or why not have fun, why not do something creative or expressive of yourself, because you can learn a lot about people just by simple things.
A community full of love, full of respect for the conservation of what it was built on, and neighborly love, and having our outings on the front porch and going to knock on our neighbor's door to see how they are this morning. The elderly, the young, anybody, taking care of each other and building on each other. Love and community. It's really all about love of neighbor. That's what I would want to see.
Again, my hope is that there is a mixture of the young, the old, regardless to social, economic status, handicap, place for homeless, which would be, to me, an idealistic place, because everybody not only can learn, but can help and strengthen one another. And that's the purpose of a society, is to love and build and nurture one another, or it should be.
Oh, that was good. Oh, yes, ma'am. Cause I just, when you was doing it, I just got all into it. And I got all into it. I knew